Mark and Phyllis Hurd were dairy farming before they turned their hand to growing grapes and olives in Marlborough. Mark is the outgoing Marlborough branch chairman of Olives New Zealand. The Hurds produce their own brand for New Zealand supermarkets called Awatere Valley Olive Oil. Mark admits that growing and marketing olives has been hard work.
Sauvignon Blanc just jumps out of the ground here. It's made for Sauvignon Blanc, this country. Olives are a bit of a different story because you're starting from scratch. You've got no technical information, you have to learn it all. And that's been a challenge. First it was the wind, all the trees grew sideways and I thought we were never going to get there. And then, because as the crops come along and got bigger each year, marketing becomes the next big issue, and it still is. We have 4 major varieties, all the main varieties that we grow: Barnea, Piqual, Licino and Frantoia. We have a little bit of Picholine and Pendolino. They'll use for pollination purposes. We looked around Marlborough, the olives that were growing here, and along with advice from the nursery where we bought the little trees in the beginning, and took it from that, really, yeah. We decide to harvest mainly by date, but sometimes a variety may lag. This year Barnea is lagging badly, it's going to be a month late, so we take that in consideration too. Pollination is important. We've planted our trees mixed varieties right through the grove to hopefully capitalise on a bit of cross-pollination and therefore a better fruit set. We actually pulled out a block of 2,500 Barnea and put Sauvignon Blanc in. Reason for that was that the Barnea doesn't seem to produce a particularly nice oil on this site. It ended up being more work than I thought, especially in the early years, trying to get them to coax them to grow into the right form, ready for the mechanical harvester, which was 5 years away at that stage, and battling against the nor'westers and trying to get some shape into them was really difficult. And now, as the trees get older, there is more disease coming in, and I think we need some research on this disease. People use different things, and I don't think anybody really knows what they're doing, to tell you the truth.
The Hurds have invested in a mechanical olive harvester. Their son Nikolai also contract harvests with this for other growers around the region.
I hire the machine off Mark for a certain rate per tree, and then we head out and do grows in around the Blenheim area, Renwick area. And so I run the gang, I organise the pressing space for them, and also any fruit that gets sold to the North Island, I organise the shipping and freighting of that as well on behalf of the village press.
Well, we have a range of products. The oil that's in that blue coloured label, that's our classic product. It's a higher quality and it's more expensive. The brown label one is sort of like an economy one. It's still extra virgin and it's a single estate, but the lesser nice oils perhaps find their way into that one. And of course that's a restaurant trade, and I was a dairy farmer and I liked the milk tanker coming in and collecting the milk and taking it away, and that was the end of it. I'd love to get like that with olives. I'd love to just produce the olive oil, or the fruit even, and have it all taken away and all the marketing in someone else's hands. I think that we're badly in need of a generic label for the whole of the country.
Mark and Phyllis are shareholders of a new cooperative set up to produce the Marlborough olive crop, called the Marlborough Olive Press.
Well, back in 2007, the previous owners of the press put it on the open market. So we called the growers together and there was enough interest. And we now have 30 odd in the shareholding of this in the new venture. The shareholders had to pay $1,200 for a share, and that share entitled them to 1 tonne of pressing per annum at the shareholders' rate, which is around about 25 odd cents a kilogram less than for a non-shareholder. It's not a profit-making venture. That's their dividend, if you like. Last year we had to purchase $15,000 worth of parts from Italy. One breakdown, we're out for 10 days. But that was the most expensive part and the worst bit that could go wrong. We only expect more minor breakdowns this year. I think Marlborough in particular is in a situation where I think it really does need a bigger press. There's a lot of fruit that's left on the trees out there that we could harvest. There's fruit that leaves Marlborough, goes north. We could press that here as well. There's probably potentially 400 plus tonnes that could be pressed in this press if it was a bigger press.
After a number of years in the business, Mark's wife Phyllis has her ideas about where New Zealand olive oil could be heading.
I love that. I think that we need to form a larger grower co-op where we pool resources and maybe for export, or come up with a generic brand that is representative of all growers. The big stumbling block for export too is the price of the product, you know. We're producing, we would like it at, you know, around the $22 a litre supermarket, and then we can compete with the Italian oils on the shelf because it's a far better product. It's fresh and it's certainly we don't have huge chemical inputs or any fungicides or anything. You know, it seems to suit growing in Hawke's Bay and Marlborough. I'm willing to give up Awatere River if it means going into a co-op or a generic brand for New Zealand. I'm very happy with that. And I think we can tell our story better overseas with a real New Zealand product with a good New Zealand name behind it, you know, so it's not a quasi-Italian brand, you know, that it's distinctly New Zealand and growing in this landscape. God, look how bright it is, Mark.
It's almost blue, it's so green.
They say it compares to the finest Tuscan oil, and certainly the people that we've had here from Italy all say that. Yeah, they all say that it's as good as the best Tuscan oils, which is the place where they grow supposedly the best oil in the world. I think we do compare very well.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.